Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another review of Love After Lockup Season 3, Episode 5, Roses on the Bed. So this episode starts off with Destiny and Sean, and we're back at the restaurant where Destiny, Sean, her mom, and her sister are eating, and Sean has revealed to Destiny his actual age, which is 45, not 36, and the actual number of children that he has, which is 6, not 2. So Destiny doesn't like that. She doesn't like the fact that this is already starting off on some dishonesty. And when they are driving to the hotel that they're going to be staying in, she lets him have it. She's like, basically, look, I don't like it that you're constantly lying to me, and you're lying to me about things that don't need to be lied about. Now, that's the worst kind of liar. It's one thing to lie about, like why you were late to a meeting or a party or something. You get into an accident and you don't want to tell the truth about what happened, that you were drinking or you weren't paying attention, and so you lie and you'll be like, well, I didn't see the other car coming. Those kind of lies, no lie is good, but those kind of lies, whatever, I kind of get it. But why are you lying about the number of kids that you have, especially to a woman that you claim you want to be with? Because eventually she's going to know, she's going to find out. The lies that are going to be revealed regardless, what is the point? Just go ahead and, take that bitter pill now instead of holding it off. So why lie about your age? That is something that can easily be verified. She can do her own research. She can ask someone in his family, ask a friend. Why do you lie about things that are not necessary? So that kind of, if I was her, I would definitely be worried about that, if that's his habit, because it's sort of pathological. Now, he says, he really wanted to be with her. Okay, maybe she didn't have a problem with you being 45. And she even told him, after she found out how old he really was, she even said, I don't care about age. Age is nothing but a number to me. So I wouldn't have cared that you were 45 years old. Now, the 6 kids, maybe that would have been a deal breaker for her. I don't know. Well, maybe not, because it seems like she's still going to be with him. So he lied about stuff that just really wasn't necessary, and he made himself look so foolish about that. So they get to the motel or the hotel. Now, I've never seen a hotel like this. As soon as you walked in, the hot tub was right there by the bed. That was just a little bit much for me. But anyways, so they walk in, and he has the flowers on the bed. It was actual, I think there were tulips or something on the bed. I think they were arranged like in a heart or a circle or something, and in the middle of the flower arrangement was a box of some type of jewelry. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if they showed that on the episode or not. If they did, I missed it. So it gets all romantical with them. Of course, one thing leads to another. Now, she took a shower. She went ahead and took a shower before they got busy. So Jessica, I'm gonna need you to take notes. She went ahead and she took a shower before they got busy. Now, in her confessional, she said that while she was in prison, and Sean doesn't know this, but when she was in prison, she had several relationships. She said many relationships with women. I forget how long she was incarcerated for, but she said she had several relationships with women, and that she will continue to have relations with women outside of prison. And so that's something that she's going to have to discuss with Sean. And she says, even though I'm in a committed relationship, I still want to have relationships with women. I still want to be with women. Now, how are you in a committed relationship if you are going to be involved with other people? Whether it's just for sex or for something more than that, how are you in a committed relationship then? You're not in a committed relationship. You're in a free-for-all relationship. And some people think, and I've noticed this, that if they are with someone, if they're in a relationship with someone of the opposite sex, then they kind of have a pass to be in relationships or relations with people of the same sex. Like, that doesn't really count. It's like, like Destiny, oh, she wants to be with Sean. That's her main relationship. That's her real relationship. So it should be okay for her to play around with girls. I don't think so. But we'll see how Sean takes it. Now, after they do the next morning they wake up, and they're both praising each other on how wonderful it was. And Sean says that this was probably the best sex he's ever had. She definitely said that it was the best sex that she's ever had. And he said that it was really good for him too, and that this was the first time that he felt like he was making love, while in the past with other people it was just sex. And this is the first time that he feels like he was making love. Now, Sean, you know the mother of your children is going to see this, is going to know this. Your children will even hear this. Why are you saying such dumb stuff? Just say it was good. Okay, it was good. You turned me out. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And keep it at that. Why are you comparing it to past relationships? I mean, that's just so, number one, it's tacky. And number two, it's hurtful. The woman who bared your 6 children, you're really, digging that knife into her heart. Moving on. Next, we have Maurice and Jessica. So Maurice is the one that got out of prison, and he's paroled in California, but really wants to go back to Nevada. That's where his wife, Jessica, lives. She has a home there, and he wants to get away from the whole criminal environment of LA. And so the switch over of the parole, or the transfer of the parole to Nevada, got denied. So in this particular episode, he goes to see his daughter, who lives with his ex-girlfriend. The daughter's name is Michaela, and the mother's name is Kaniqua. Now, him and Kaniqua were together since high school, and they had a baby together, and he kept on getting in trouble. And Kaniqua finally told him that, look, if you're gonna get in trouble one more time, I'm out. He got in trouble again. That ended the relationship. She was serious about that. So he really misses his daughter, and he really regrets not being there for her. He really hates the fact that he was making decisions that caused him to be absent for so much of her life. But when he saw his little girl at the house, she came running out the door, gave her daddy a great big hug. He picked her up, twirled her around, and you can tell there was like real love between him and his child. Now, from the pictures that we saw of Michaela to the actual reunion, she had grown a lot. She wasn't that little girl anymore. So she looked about maybe 8 or 9 years old, maybe 10. So they go inside the home, which is Kaniqua's home, I'm assuming, and Jessica goes in with him. And so he's, reuniting with everybody there with Kaniqua and whoever else was there. And Jessica is sitting in a corner, and she's just basically sitting there, completely removed from what's going on with Maurice and Kaniqua and Michaela and everybody else. She's just sitting there in a corner, like, a lump on a log. And so when they left, she told him how uncomfortable she felt, and that he should have at least introduced her to the rest of the family. I guess she really wanted him to make it known to everyone, this is my wife, Jessica, and he didn't do that. He just kind of ignored her the whole time that he was in the home. And so in the car, she's, getting into him about it, like, you didn't even introduce me. I was so embarrassed. It was awkward for me just sitting there, and you didn't even say anything to me. No one talked to me. And he was like, well, what do you want me to do about it? Wrong response. Well, what do you want me to do about it? This is Michaela's family. And I'm like, you got the game all messed up. This is your daughter. This is your daughter's mother. Therefore, your daughter's mother is your family as well. The mother of your child, even though y'all are not together, even though you may, y'all, whatever the situation is, this is your family as well. Okay, this is your family. If Michaela has siblings, that's your family too. So yeah, you should have introduced Jessica to everybody. This is my wife, Jessica. Even though Jessica said that her and Michaela, the little girl, they talk every day, but she really doesn't talk to the mother. She said her and Kaniqua have exchanged 2 words the whole time that Maurice has been incarcerated, or the whole time that she's known Maurice. So I'm like, how are you calling this little girl and talking to her every day when you don't even speak to the mother? Like, how does that work out? Because I know if someone's calling my child, me and that person are also communicating, because I'm not going to have another adult talk to my child every single day and me and her don't talk at all. No, I don't think that's happening. So that was that at the home. Then from there, let's see. Okay, they met in high school. Okay, they broke up because kept on getting in trouble. Okay, so now he's out 5 days, and the next person they go visit is his cousin. So they're at his cousin's house, and his cousin is also on parole. I don't think I got his cousin's name, though. So his cousin is also on parole. And so Maurice and his cousin are talking about how much they hate being on parole, constantly reporting to the PO and, just the trials and tribulations of being on parole. They're commiserating over that. And the cousin has 2 little boys, as far as I could tell, and he's also married. And so Maurice was like, you know what, you're set though with your parole because you have a house, you got a family, you got a job, a car, whatever. So you're kind of set. I'm still trying to get all of that. And then the cousin says to him, well, let me get you caught up on all of our friends who've passed on. And so he pulls out like a stack of obituaries and he gives it to Maurice. And Maurice is going through all these obituaries one by one. He's like, oh my God, he's dead. And he's dead. And that's my boy. That's my boy. And all of his friends are dead. And that was a really impactful scene. While he was gone in prison, all of his homies are gone. So, that was a touching moment, him kind of reminiscing about his friends and, whatever. And then when him and Jessica leave, it was like kind of, how it is when you're watching these reality TV shows, when the camera kind of starts jerking up and down a little bit, it's kind of like, okay, there's some type of commotion going on. And what happened was, while he was outside, a car drove by and someone from inside the car shouted out to Maurice, where you from? I don't know anything about gang life. I don't know anything about street life. I have no idea if it was like, where you from as in, what are you doing on our territory? You're trespassing on our grounds, or where you from as far as who are you repping? Who do you represent? I don't know, but it was some type of gang related stuff. And so, Maurice was like, telling the producers, like, did y'all see that? Did y'all hear what that man said? Whatever. So Jessica was like, these people are so nosy. And I'm like, Jessica, I don't think they're nosy. When they ask you where you from, I don't think they're like wanting to know your address. I think, it's something about some type of gang thing, gang affiliation thing. So trying to figure out, who is he? Where is he from? Who does he represent? What hood is, whatever. So it's not about they're nosy. They're just trying to, okay, Jessica, this went way above your head. So you're with someone who's in a gang, who's a gangster, ex-gang. I don't know if he's an ex-gangster, if he's still a Crip or what's going on here, but you need to really familiarize yourself with the realities of what you got yourself into. So moving on to Kweilyn and Chevelle. So Kweilyn is out. Okay, so him and Chevelle and his mom, they go out to eat at a barbecue place. Let me just say, Kweilyn's hair is tight. His hair is so nice. It is so nice. I like his hair. And he's also, kind of easy on the eyes. So Kweilyn, his mom, and Chevelle are going out to eat. And while they are at the restaurant, they're discussing where is Kweilyn gonna go. And the mom, makes her point about, I need you to get away from the environment that got you in trouble. And I also want you close to me because I'm going to worry about you so much with me being in Houston and you being up here in Kansas City. And Chevelle was like, nope, he's not going to come back to Texas. Nope, that's not happening. She told mom, she was like, nope, that's not happening. He's going to stay right here. Kweilyn tells his mother that it's better for him to stay with Chevelle because, in reality, he's going to stay with the one that's going to satisfy his needs. So he's like, no, I'm gonna stay right here with Chevelle. And the mom was disappointed in that, but the mom's final words, because they eventually, when they go back to the hotel, they send mom on her way. They get a car to come pick her up so they can, have some alone time. And her last words before she walked out the hotel was, my son's coming back with me. I don't know what they think is going on, but my son is going to come back with me. So the hotel, Kweilyn, and she gets everything all nice and romantical for him. She put the flower petals on the bed. And so he comes in and, they start whatever they need to start. And she's massaging him and they're drinking champagne, I think, or pink champagne or something like that. And, it's about to go down. They kick the cameraman out and you know what's going on there. So they had a wonderful night. Now we go to Shonda and Tyrese. Shonda is a 49-year-old. And Shonda Tyrese is 49. Shonda's 20-something. They've been dating for 3 months, but they've actually seen each other in person 13 times. He's made 13 visits to the prison unit. So he's getting all ready for her as well. He puts on his... he put on this electric blue suit. Now, okay, Tyrese is a nice-looking man. He also has a really, he's in shape. He's fit. Why would he hide his physique in that oversized pimp daddy suit? I just didn't like it. It was just really big and baggy on him. And he had on the shoes were fine. I think he had on some blue alligator crocodile shoes. I don't know. And the suit was I think it was just way too big and baggy for him. It aged him. Now, he said he wanted to look young for Shonda. That suit, to me, aged him. He looked like someone's grandfather. He looked like an old school pimp from back in the day. It was just very 90s, and I just didn't like it. He should have put on some nice fitting pants, a nice fitting shirt to accentuate his physique. So anyways, he's at the prison. He's outside waiting for Shonda. Moving on to Lindsay and Scott. Where's Lindsay? That's the big question. Lindsay did not show up in last week's episode. She was supposed to have been released and got on a plane and met Scott wherever they were going to meet. And so he was at the airport waiting for her. She never showed up. Her poor daughter was waiting for her as well at the halfway house with the grandmother. She never showed up. So now he's trying to figure out what happened. And when he calls the prison, they give him very limited information. They tell him that she was not released. So she's still in prison. She's still incarcerated. He wanted to know why. No one can give him or her mother any information as far as why she wasn't released. And so Scott is speculating, and probably more likely than not, maybe she got in trouble again. Or maybe there was just some mix up with the paperwork. Maybe it's going to be delayed a few days. But we don't know, and we won't know. So this was just, a nice little cute episode where we're kind of building up to the drama that's going to ensue in the coming week, hopefully. So it was fine. No complaints. Everybody's home except for Lindsay and Shonda. We're still waiting on them. And that's it. 16 minutes. I did it under 20 minutes. I'm so happy. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Come back next week for another review of Love After Lockup. Bye.